Hey everyone, welcome back to part 2 of the city overview of Grünstadt, and we're just gonna jump into it right away. By the way, if you haven't seen part 1, go check that out. It's pretty interesting just to see the entire city, I guess. So this is our central station, and the two platforms here on the left, those are our intercity platforms, where we have trains coming in from outside the map, basically. And then the rest of the platforms, well, at least 4 of them, is they have lines on them. There's the Mars line, the Endurance line, the Lazarus line, and this line right here. I don't remember the line names. And this is the shortest line right here. Here, it's the one that goes from the central station to the stadium, and it doesn't go that far. Then we have the Mars line, I'm pretty sure, over here, and it goes right beside that line, splits up, then it joins back up at this station, and then it sort of splits up again, and you'll see the difference, and it sort of ends up here, right in this district. And this is the bi-level commuter train by Bisquekelhausen. It's really nice. It's the same train that Go Transit and Caltrain uses. It's a ton of cities use this as a commuter train. So the Mars line comes over here to the zonable industry area, and then it sort of just goes back from this station, whereas the other line, it goes here right next to the rail yard, then it goes down to the distribution center, and then from there it goes down to Huygens Mines, right down there. Yeah. And as you can see, we have a lot of lines here, and one of my favorite ones is this one right here. It's our high-speed line. I don't remember what I called it, but basically we have the high-speed trains by Revo here, and they're really nice. I'm pretty sure this is what is it, a SNCF train, I think. I don't remember what train it is, but basically it's really nice. So from the central station it goes down to here to the old, no, not old, it's the industrial elevated station, which is one of the oldest stations in the workshop. Yes, yeah, it's been updated all the time. I don't remember who made it. I think it was Beauformer or something, but it's been in the workshop for forever, and it's really nice, and it's been updated like with the rotor shader, the glass, and everything. And so the high-speed line is really like an A to B line. I think there are only 4 total stations, including the central station. This one of the third station is this one right here, and it's in between Woodside and Palm Fields, and then yeah, it's connected to Woodside. And then from there, the line continues through the bridge. This is the Bay Bridge. I'll talk about it at the end of the episode. And it goes down here in between the highways, which just trying to save some space, I guess. And it goes down here into the inner loop in the airport and sort of terminates. Well, really, it just loops around, and that's pretty nice. A lot of people use it, as you can see. It's actually a pretty cheap line, and it's really fast, so of course it would make sense for people to use it when they can, especially tourists just coming in. After that, let's take a bit of a look at downtown. So yeah, this is the center of the city, really, and it's not detailed crazily well. I added some billboards, you can see. Just, I don't know, makes it look a little bit better. But yeah, it's not immensely detailed. It's all right. It functions. It's really just a whole bunch of big buildings put down, and it looks like downtown, I guess. It's what you see from far away, right? It's the skyline, and I'm really happy with it. So we have like the different buildings here. So that's the cheese grater building, I'm pretty sure it's called. Yeah, it's by Gula. And then we have the Columbia Center, and then of course the Aeon Center in Los Angeles. These big buildings. I mean, I don't know. They look nice and modern, so why not? And really, if you look around, like there's buildings from a whole bunch of different countries. Like there's the school over there from Japan. That's Byronics, by the way. These offices are Byronics too. And this custom parking lot. So, yeah, I'm just completely changing the topic. It's a custom parking lot I made before parking lot roads came out. I was so happy with it, but then parking lots road came out. It was sort of unneeded. But it's a sort of custom thing I did. I decided to leave it because I think it looks good. Um, Yeah, the billboards, of course, which there's a ton of them. They're really big. So you can see there's a Samsung one. I think there's a Nikon one or a Canon one. There's a bunch of them. Uh, but it does bring out sort of that capitalist or consumerist sort of feel, which I think is pretty nice in a city. And yeah, there's a ton of them. You could find them on the workshop. Some of them are a bit hard to find because they're under different names and different people make them, but they look pretty nice. And if you want to spice your city up a bit, that's probably a good idea to do that. We also have the subway, which I haven't really showed off. This is a Kiev metro, and the way you know it's Kiev is because it's this. First of all, it's like this blue metro, and it has the yellow lines on the side. In Moscow, they have the same trains except the white lines on the side, which is a cool fun fact, I guess. Yeah, a lot of people use it. Not too many, not as much as the trams or trains or anything, but it's still nice. And I wanna do something more with the subway because it's sort of haven't done too much with it. So that's pretty much the majority of the city. I mean, you can see it's pretty big. It's a big city, but then when you sort of look into all the nitty gritty, it's nothing too special, I guess. It's special to me because I worked on it for so long, but I don't know. It's nothing extremely fancy. I don't detail it extremely or anything like that. Some blocks you could see it's kind of interesting are actually full of just parking lots because they didn't build enough of them, and so it ends up being with some lag sometimes. So I guess the next thing to look at is the suburb, and you can see over here, this is it's mostly houses that look exactly the same, and somebody pointed out that that's not extremely realistic. Well, I mean, I don't know. A lot of houses look very similar, and so I thought, who cares? I mean, I don't know. I plopped those down. The rest of it is zoned, and there's this nice park sort of in the center. That's my cat. I'm sorry. I don't know what he's doing. And there are some cul-de-sacs actually over here that I didn't build quite right. It's more of a roundabout kind of thing, and I put some parks down, but they're unique buildings, so you just get tourists coming to them, which is kind of funny. Traveling from outside the city just to see a park. Unless it's Central Park. I mean, Central Park, people go there all the time. And then in the center of the suburb, suburb is called Woodside, by the way, there's this sort of another shopping center. And basically, I wanted to put that there because when you come right off the highway, you probably wouldn't be getting residential little suburban homes right away. You'd probably get something like this. And I don't know, it made sense to me. So that's what I did. I think these are made by King Leno, by the way, most of those. Anyways, we also have a few trams running through here, and they're the Melbourne trams. Yeah, these ones right here. And, oh, okay, I guess, sure, merging is another way. Whatever. And they're the Melbourne trams. I don't remember who made them. But they're running on the Elite Tram Tracks by Jaren Abel, and they look really nice. They're the proper track model instead of being this gray tube, which is what the vanilla tracks are. And they take up way more trees. So it doesn't. I don't know why the developers decided to do that. And yeah, all of these houses are UK houses. I installed the new. Not installed. I subscribed to by Mr. Mason the new hedge. They're not really new, like the improved hedges, but looks like you can't replace them on these. It's part of the model, so whatever. Yeah. Also, this little center right here, I guess we have the bus terminal thing. A lot of people use it, and we have some buses going through here. There's like 2 lines that run throughout the actual suburb, and then one that goes downtown. I wanted it to look like a real sort of bus station, where you have the little things that stops in, whatever, and it's the closest I can get. Whatever, it's cool enough. And whatever, nothing will ever be perfect. And yeah, you can see I have the street name signs on for some reason, so I just removed that with American road signs. Yeah, and that's that's that. That's pretty much this. There's still one thing that I think we're going to take a look at, and it's the, I'm not wrong, the distribution center. Oh yeah, I stopped to look at a sim. Sometimes it's fun to look at sims. And he committed suicide. Funny, not really. Yeah, that's, oh yeah, and then the lumber trucks. So they come all the way from here, from Woodside. Not Woodside, from Palm Fields. And I don't really know if palms are cut down for lumber or anything like that. But I mean, it's a tropical island, so I just put a bunch of palms here. And then, but really, I mean, the trees that I wanted them to cut down are the ones over there, the generic trees, these ones. And they look a lot nicer. And I think if I was to redo the map, I probably would have used those trees instead. And there's also, yeah, the tunnel here. This is by Ronix, the tunnel pieces, and you just can put them together and they look really nice. And yeah, this is, I was just trying to remember the style of those tunnels. He had two, whatever, yeah. I also put this fire watch tower. I have a few of them. I don't know, I thought it fit the theme of this sort of wood area. Whatever, I think it's cool. It adds something, at least, to the mountains. And then we have the actual lumber yard here, which I really like. There's a ton of like mud and everything, and just the buildings and everything. And there's the trains here that are getting loaded with lumber, which, I don't know, I think that's pretty cool, this entire area. So, yeah, that's that. And, yeah, I think we have like a few more things to look at, and then the video is going to be done. There's 10 minutes in the video left. Obviously, it's a bit of a long one, so sorry about that, but there's a lot to look at. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. So we have the freight terminal over here, and it goes from Palm Fields down to the farm over there. There's a turnaround. I'm going to show that in a second. And then it just sort of goes back, I guess. And that's a distribution center, distribution by Avania. Really nice, generic sort of thing you can put anywhere. And then, of course, the hydro corridors that we have everywhere. Make a little video on that pretty soon. And yeah, so this will probably take us to Blightville. That's the name of this area. And the reason it's called Blightville, I don't know how well, the best way to explain it is over here, I guess. This is a scene from Interstellar. I really like Interstellar, it's pretty cool. And so I wanted to do something about that. And it's the scene where Cooper is with Murph at the school, and Boots or whatever his name is calls them in because the Combines are acting weird. They're all coming here. And basically the whole thing in Interstellar is that they have to leave because of blight. It's killing their crops, and so I just called it Blightville. But yeah, I like this. It's pretty cool. It was at the end of my farms episode, but then it got copyrighted. So yeah, apparently that was enough, just having a bit of soundtrack at the end. Whatever, I don't know. I don't care. There's a lot of crops here, and I mean, first of all, before we talk about the crops, so yeah, Blightville, and then we have a 747 flying over top. That's pretty cool, right? Not really. That's not what we're talking about. We have the fields here, and I don't know, like, you can't see them from far away, which sucks, but all in all, the fields are really cool. They look really nice. They add a nice amount of color, and it's sort of nice, the sort of squares and everything of the fields. I don't know, fields, for some reason, are cool, in my opinion. We have a lot of wheat and corn, like the stuff surrounding that house I showed you, that was all corn. And then we have, of course, the freight turnaround. Oh, sorry, not the freight turnaround, the irrigation channel, which is just water running from freshwater outlets. And we have the freight turnaround, which is pretty cool. Basically, the freight train comes here, stops at the silo, and then it just goes around if it needs to. So yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. And now, before we move on to the airport and the Bay Bridge, we also have this grain elevator. Not grain elevator, sorry, grain port. And basically, I don't remember where I got this idea, but yeah, it adds a nice bit of like industrialness or whatever. And I think it looks cool to have that, you know, looking by when you're driving on the highway or something. And from far away, it's also pretty cool, you know, to see all that. It keeps asking for jobs, but like nobody lives there. So it just, we keep getting that sign. I've also forgot about this, the nuclear power plant. In the past like 2 days, I did a little bit of tweaking over here. I added some pipes over here, trying to make it look cool. The pipes are also my bad idea. I mean, come on, they make so many great assets. The sidewalk, the what's it called? The fences and the parking lot roads are all really great. And of course, they're all color coded, and you know me, you know, I have to have everything proper and stuff. So, yeah. Of course, most of this is by Ronix, like even the water, what are they called? Aeration basins. The whole power plant is the dual power plant by Ronix. You could see it's really cool. Yeah, Ronix makes great assets, but we're not praising asset creators today. We're just taking a look at everything. Obviously, I have the water coming in here, and that's where the water comes in for my city. And there's so much water. They use so much water. It's insane. And basically, I have to keep adding water intakes, because you can see the current. It's like insane. And some people are like, I don't know if you should have the water pumps there, you know, radiation and all that. But in reality, there's not that much radiation in nuclear power stations. It's really comparable to normal radiation that you're around on a daily basis. It's only if there's a meltdown or if it explodes that we have a problem. But for now, I think it's fine. Our citizens act weird by themselves. They're not, no mutations yet. And then we have the bridge, and this is a new addition. This is the Bay Bridge by Bisqueichelhausen. It's a network version, so it's really easy to place. You can tailor it to whatever situation. There's a whole bunch of different pieces. It's extremely sort of custom. You can do whatever you want. And so unfortunately, those pillars there, those are a glitch as a result of network skins. It hasn't been updated in a while. So actually, I'm pretty sure, whatever, it has a glitch where the pillars keep appearing, but even if you remove them with Move It. So it's a bit annoying, but whatever. The only pillars that are supposed to be there are the actual support columns. These ones right there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's 3 levels. So that you have the high-speed train running underneath. You have the southbound highway on the mid-level, and then the northbound highway on top. And it sort of splits off whenever it reaches an end, and then they all sort of come together when it comes towards the bridge. And then finally, last but certainly not least, we have GSX, our wonderful, wonderful airport. So obviously the past few videos have been focused on the airport, and I don't know, I guess I just really like airports, and I wanted to focus on this. I wanted it to be really realistic and everything. And I think, to be honest, I think I did a good job. We have all the runways here, and it's mainly inspired by SFO and YYZ, which is San Francisco International Airport and Toronto Pearson. And I know most of you probably came here for the city. I actually didn't realize that. I was just kind of doing my own things. And you can see that over here there's some new signs, and that's because it's going to be the next episode. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. It took a while, maybe too long. Whatever. It adds a good amount of realism. And I'm really happy with the airport. I don't know. We have a whole bunch of ramps already, and only 2 of which that are actually detailed. And yeah. Now, although we only have the 2 ramps really fully detailed, I do work on them when I have time. And I think it'll turn out pretty good in the end. But we'll see, because, yeah. The only thing I don't like about this inner loop, which is actually one of my favorite areas at the airport, I think I did a good job on it and it looks really nice, is I don't like this taxi depot. It just turns into this yellow mess from far away. I don't know. Whoever made it, do you know how to make an LOD? Come on, you can do better. No, it's bad. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the airport, to be honest. There's not much to say. That's the airport. If you haven't seen the rest of the videos, or if you're interested in the airport because this is the first time you're watching, go watch the playlist. I think there's a playlist I made, and it has everything that we've done so far, basically. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the end of the city overview. If this is your first time watching the channel and you like the city, then consider watching the rest of the videos. I think you might like them. And yeah, there's still a lot to do. Still a lot of ideas here. So I think that's it. See you next time.